right, so SkillBridge is the
Bridge,
one.
yes, thank
Yeah.
you. What
So
a dummy.
SkillBridge
Okay.
is a great option. You got to get it signed off by your commander, and some commanders get all weird that they're losing manpower or woman power, and they're a little, whatever. They're pin shy. But
Mhm.
in any case, that's still something great to go for. One of the things that you talked about was the different levels of condition or diagnosis that you might have, right? I will say, and I'm going to tell you out there, do not self-segregate out. Don't go,
Yeah.
well, I rolled my ankle once, I seem fine. No, if you rolled your ankle, go to the doctor, talk to them. They're going to measure and see how far each one moves, and they're going to go, oh, you got a little range of motion issue in this one. Well, I don't know. I don't ever have to do anything anymore. I just walk. So I didn't really realize until I go to, squat all the way down, and you realize, oh, that one only bends so far. Now I got to kind of pick it up or whatever. So don't self-segregate out because you think it's okay.
Mhm.
We are really good at going, it's okay. I'm all right. Meanwhile, your arm's all tweaked out. No, it's fine. It's just hangs like this, right? Don't do that. Just go to the doctor, explain your situations, have them tell you if it is or isn't. And that's going to develop your evidence anyway. The big piece of gold for anybody listening in the BDD world, potentially, this means that you're still in service. If I had to pick one thing for you to resonate in your mind while you're in service still, because this is BDD stuff, would not even be to file a BDD claim if I had one thing to pick. The one thing I would pick would be go get diagnosed for every single thing, head to toe, inside and out, that you could possibly go get your blood tested, go get your thyroid tested, go get everything tested to see if you have any sign of anything, whether it's a thyroid condition or you have some sort of, maybe you're pre-diabetic, whatever, right? Go get everything tested while you're in service, period. End of story. Number one, most important thing to do, even
Mhm.
beyond filing a claim. Now, the second piece I'm going to throw out here, Clay, and then I'll kick it back to you, is if you file your BDD claim at 6 months prior to discharge, not 6 months prior to your terminal leave from your actual I'm out date, okay? You file it. There's nothing wrong with continuing to think about, okay, inside out, head to toes, did I miss anything? I need to go get diagnosed. Continue building that medical evidence record. You have 6 more months in. You don't have to go to your doctor on base. You can go off base. You can go see whoever you want as long as it's a medical provider. What the VA is looking at is the dates of your diagnosis. The date of your diagnosis, the date of your prescription, those things are going to prove your nexus if you file a claim later, because those dates are within your window of opportunity, I call it, which is your time in service. So that's just a couple things I wanted to add in there, Clay, if it sparked any thoughts. And I know you had another one to share too.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. If there was one thing to take away, it's just go to speak to your healthcare provider. If that's a corpsman, like on an E4 level, make sure they're documenting whatever it is that they say. Okay, all the way up to you're going to see your primary care at the Naval Hospital or whatever that looks like for whatever post that you're at. Depends on what your job and what unit you're with. I totally agree. One thing to bring it back to BDDs, and this one kind of sucks, and then we're going to move on to 1 year after discharge, is I did not know this until I went to the VFW's national convention. I spoke to their BDD director, which is a position for some reason. And she said that not every base has the opportunity for those service members to submit BDD claims, which is absolutely wrong in my opinion. It's just like it's
Yeah.
not, you know how like access to healthcare is what kills people. Now there's this like access to a BDD claim, which is going to hurt someone's claim, which is just wild to me. And then, so food for thought: if you are at a base that does not have access to BDD claims, you can still file one. You just have to do it yourself. VSOs, and I want to say the VFW and the DAV are the only ones who are certified. And when I say certified, I mean because they said they are, to do BDD claims. I know your big bases do, like Lejeune, your Pendleton. all the big bases like Fort Liberty, not Bragg anymore, right? Has access to BDD claims. So food for thought. You might not have access to a VSO who is allowed to do BDD claims, which sounds absolutely insane. But last thing, Jason, and then we'll kind of move on unless you have any last thoughts. There is legislation on the floor, really pushed by the VFW right now for BDD reform, and it's really through TAPS, through Transition Assistance Program, because TAPS is not created equally, right? TAPS on one base with one of a few instructors might be top notch, awesome. You have a solid VSO there. It's the best TAPS program ever. That same base next week with a different group of instructors in a brand new VSO, or a VSO who's in his 80s because he's volunteering, right? Which is good on him. Thank you for your service, but you're not performing to standard, right? So
Why
TAPS
has
is
he got to be
definitely
80?
I'm saying that because the VSO that came to my TAPS program
Okay.
was so he was a DAV rep, retired, just volunteer basis, right? Doing it out of the goodness of his heart. Just wasn't all there mentally. He was in 1-9, The Walking Dead, in the Marine Corps during Vietnam era. So this dude's, he's been there and done that. But when it comes to submitting BDD claims and teaching people how to submit claims, it just didn't exist. So that's why I say that, right? But it could be, some young VSO on the block who's brand new, who just doesn't understand what we need to know. So there's legislation on the floor for that. Hopefully that changes. If you are on a base that doesn't have BDD claim access, that sucks. And I would complain as much as I possibly can to whoever I can to bring that access to there. Jason, that's all I have, unless you want to transition into the 1 year